Have you ever awakened in the dead of night between the veiled hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m.? No jarring alarm, no external intrusion, just the stark reality of your own consciousness pulling you from slumber. Some dismiss it as restlessness, a fleeting symptom of stress, or perhaps the remnants of a chaotic day struggling to find resolution. But what if I told you, my friends, that this hour, this sacred window, is far more significant than a mere quirk of your biology? What if it is not random, but a calling, a divine whisper that traverses the silence? In this realm, reality feels malleable. Heaven and earth draw closer. Time itself bends. It is in this moment, this sacred opening, that you are presented with a choice. A fork in the road of your existence, return to the embrace of sleep, the fleeting sanctuary of oblivion, or rise to meet something far more significant, something immeasurably grand. So if you find yourself awake in the still, hushed hours of the night, do not waste it. Do not dismiss it. Do not try to escape it. Embrace it. Let us immerse ourselves in the profound mystery of this phenomenon. Consider, if you will, the experience. Your eyes flutter open in the darkness, the world outside still and silent. An inexplicable awareness settles upon your spirit, a sense of heightened consciousness, almost as if a veil has lifted, and you see the world and yourself with new eyes. There is no piercing alarm to jolt you from slumber, no jarring noise to disrupt the quiet. And yet, here you are, lying awake in the depths of the night, feeling something. Something deep, something stirring, something that beckons you to engage with the very core of your being. Some are quick to label this a mere quirk of circumstance, a restless night, a consequence of a troubled mind, an overactive brain relentlessly processing the events of the day. But I ask you, what if it is more than this? What if this waking, this sudden awareness is not an accident, but a divine invitation? What if, in the profound stillness of the night, you are being called to a higher purpose? There is a palpable sacredness to these hushed hours. Think of the daytime. Life rushes forward with relentless momentum. Distractions abound, clinging to you like a shroud. The noise of the world is ever present, a cacophony of demands, obligations, and fleeting, shallow connections. But then comes the stillness, the silence of the early morning. Before the sun ascends, painting the sky with hues of promise and rebirth, and before the demands of the day begin to clamor for attention, there exists a moment, a pristine fragment of time. It is in this moment that heaven and earth seem to draw closer, a magnetic convergence, a merging of the earthly and the divine. Time itself seems to slow, to expand, to offer space, to invite contemplation. It is in this space that the soul can finally hear what is so often drowned out, silenced by the incessant clamor of life. For centuries, humanity has recognized the significance of this hour. In Scripture, we find that it was often during the night watches that men and women of faith cried out in prayer, seeking guidance, searching for answers, desperately longing for strength. It was in the solitude of these moments that prophets received visions, that divine revelations were revealed, that hearts were stirred toward a far greater purpose. Even now, across cultures and traditions, this window of time is revered as the spiritual awakening hour. A moment when the supernatural is more active, when the mind is more open, and when the soul is most receptive to divine whispers that seek to guide you. Why is it that so many awaken during this time? Could it be that something deep within, something buried beneath layers of societal conditioning and personal struggles is longing to be heard? The mind, freed from the incessant demands of the day, finally finds the space to reflect, to question, and to receive. The burdens we carry in the bright glare of the sun, the worries that gnaw at us, the anxieties that haunt our shadows, all become clearer, more distinct in the quiet of the night. Fears we suppress and doubts that linger in the heart's chambers are exposed for what they truly are. All that we hold back is revealed in the darkness, and in that moment, in the quiet, we are confronted with a choice. Most individuals, when they awaken at this hour, choose one of two paths. The first is to fight the awakening, to aggressively seek the escape of sleep. They may toss and turn, desperately willing their consciousness to fade. The second is to reach for their phone, to surrender to the digital void of social media, mindlessly scrolling to fill the silence, to banish the unsettling quiet that demands reflection. But what if, instead of attempting to escape this moment, you embraced it? What if this awakening is not a disturbance, but a gift, a sacred offering from the universe itself? There is an undeniable power within this hour that commands your attention. This is the time when thoughts are the clearest, when the spirit is most sensitive, when your inner compass of morality can speak most true. It is in these moments in the dark that people suddenly remember things long forgotten. Dreams once abandoned, passions once set aside, mistakes that need to be rectified all rise to the surface. Inspiration strikes like a bolt of lightning. Creative ideas emerge from the depths. And the answers so desperately sought in the daylight come to you as if from nowhere. The mind, unhindered by the endless busyness of the world, begins to process what truly matters, what holds true importance in the grand scheme of things. But beyond thoughts and reflections, there is something even more profound, something that transcends the rational. The heart speaks in ways it cannot during the day. There is an undeniable gravitational pull towards something greater, a profound and unwavering sense that there is more to life than what has been seen and known, what has been touched and defined. It is in these quiet, profound moments that people find themselves faced with their true selves, with their essential essence, stripped bare of the masks and pretense that we so often use to navigate the world. Some wake at this hour with a sense of urgency, awaiting a prompting that they cannot explain. It may be a specific person who suddenly comes to mind, someone they haven't thought of in years, yet they now feel compelled to reach out to them. It may be a decision that has been deliberately avoided, one they know they must finally face. It may be an overwhelming sense of gratitude, a deep appreciation for life itself, for another chance, for the simple, profound, and miraculous fact that they are still here, breathing, experiencing. Others awaken with fear. They are confronted by their anxieties, their regrets, the heavy burdens they carry, and the worries of tomorrow seem to loom even heavier in the quiet of the night. The failures of yesterday feel all the more real, and the uncertainties of the future become unavoidable, a frightening landscape. Yet even in this darkness, there is an opportunity, a doorway to a brighter horizon. An opportunity to lay it all down, to surrender the weight, to trade fear for faith, doubt for hope, turmoil for peace. This hour is not simply about being awake physically, it is about being awake spiritually. It is a potent reminder that life is far more than mere routine, more than schedules, more than the endless chase after ephemeral success. It is a profound reminder that there is something deeper at work, something unseen yet undeniably real. Some call it intuition. Others call it divine guidance, but whatever name we give it, the truth remains the same. This is not a meaningless moment. Across the grand tapestry of history, some of the greatest revelations, the most powerful insights, the most transformative moments have been birthed in the stillness of the early morning hours. It is in this sacred space that men and women have found direction when they were utterly lost. It is in this sanctuary of the battles of soul that battles have been fought, not with weapons of war, but with the weapons of prayer, with the unwavering power of surrender, and with an unshakable resolve to rise and forge a new path. It is in this space that lives have been irrevocably, beautifully, and powerfully changed. When you awaken in the early hours of the morning, do not dismiss it. Do not ignore the calling. Be still. Listen, search your heart with the clarity and openness you can only discover in the quiet. You may just find that this moment, this profound hour, is not a coincidence. It is an awakening invitation to a life of deeper meaning, a clarion call to fulfill your divine purpose. Let us now delve into the second profound action, aligning with our purpose. Purpose is not something that we stumble upon by sheer accident. It is not a prize handed to us neatly wrapped in a box, waiting for us to simply open it. Purpose is something we must grow into, something we discover, nurture, and develop through trials and tribulations. We find it in the struggle and moments of clarity and through seasons of doubt. Yet deep inside every single person, there exists a seed of purpose, a calling, a reason for being, a path that is meant to be walked. Some recognize their purpose early in life, perhaps in childhood. That spark, that innate calling, ignites and then fuels their passion. Others spend years, even decades, in a relentless search, a quest to understand the deeper meaning of their existence. Some embrace their purpose without a moment's hesitation, stepping onto the path without looking back, while others resist, consumed by fear, paralyzed by the weight of the unknown and the uncertainty of the required sacrifices. But one truth remains undeniable. There is no true fulfillment, no real peace, no authentic joy until we align ourselves with the purpose for which we were created. We exist in a world that is constantly pulling us in different directions, a chaotic maelstrom. Expectations and obligations relentlessly assault our senses. Distractions clamor for our attention, each one a potent force, seeking to shape our decision, to dictate the course of our lives. From a tender and impressionable young age, we are told what constitutes success, what paths we should follow, what dreams are considered acceptable to chase. Aligning with our purpose is not about following a perfect pre-written script. It is about coming into agreement with the deepest truths of who we are, of what our essence calls for. It is about shedding the false identities we have worn, the masks we have put on to please others, the roles we have played that do not reflect the calling within us. It is about asking the hard questions. Why am I here? What was I truly created to do? What stirs my soul in a way that nothing else does? Most people do not ask these questions because they are afraid of the answers. They are afraid of what purpose might require of them, for purpose always demands a price, a sacrifice. It demands growth. It demands profound, radical change. It demands courage, the courage to step into the unknown and confront the challenges along the way. The moment we begin to step into our purpose, we will face resistance, both internal and external. Doubts will flood our consciousness. Opposition will come from without, from those who do not understand, from those who are afraid of change, from those who are threatened by your commitment to truth. Some may even attempt to discourage you, to steer you back onto the safe path, a path of mediocrity. But my friends, purpose is not about pleasing others. It is about fulfilling a sacred calling. Some may know their purpose for years, but they have buried it beneath layers of fear, beneath excuses, beneath the limiting belief that they are not qualified, not good enough, not ready. But here is the unadulterated, liberating truth. Purpose is not about being ready, it is about being willing. It is about taking one step and then another, even when the path is shrouded in uncertainty. It is about trusting that what has been placed inside of us, that unique gift, that innate talent, is there for a specific reason, that the gifts we have been given are meant to be used, that the dreams we carry were planted in us for a divine reason. Purpose is not always about grand gestures or world-changing missions. Sometimes it is found in the small things, in the quiet moments, in the way we show up for others, in the love we give, in the lives we touch, in the way that you act. Purpose is about alignment, not just with what we do, but with who we are, with how we live, and with what we stand for. It is about being in harmony with the deeper calling placed within us. When we align with our purpose, life takes on new meaning. The struggles we face no longer seem meaningless. The pain we have endured, the loss, the setbacks begin to make sense, and their hidden gifts are revealed. The obstacles we have overcome reveal their lessons. Purpose does not erase hardship, but it gives it meaning. It transforms trials into testimonies, setbacks into stepping stones, failures into invaluable lessons that shape us into the people we were always meant to be. To align with our purpose, we must be willing to let go of everything that is not in alignment. We must let go of the fear that holds us back, the paralyzing whispers of self-doubt, the voices that tell us we cannot. We must release the relentless need for approval, the craving for external validation, and the desperate longing for certainty. Purpose does not come with a meticulously crafted roadmap, but it comes with an unshakable faith. It comes with a willingness to trust that if we take one step in the right direction, the next step will reveal itself. Purpose is not just about what we do. It is about who we become. It is about waking up each day with a profound sense of direction, with a fire inside that cannot be extinguished. It is about walking with unwavering confidence, knowing that we are not here by accident, that our existence is intentional and that our lives matter. So when that voice calls, when the stirring in your soul refuses to be ignored, listen, act, because purpose is waiting, alignment is possible, and the life you are meant to live, the life of authenticity and meaning, is closer than you think. The third profound action, my friends, the final element in this sacred trinity, is taking concrete action steps for profound transformation. Transformation is a word that carries immense weight. It signifies change on a deep, personal level, a metamorphosis that goes beyond mere surface level improvements. It's about reaching the very core of who we are. It's about growth, rebirth, and becoming the person we were always meant to be. Transformation is not a destination, it is a journey, and it is not something that happens by accident. It requires deliberate action, a series of steps that move us from where we are to where we are meant to be. The truth, as we all know, is that change is never easy. It demands sacrifice, it demands discipline. It demands the courage to step away from what is comfortable, familiar, and safe in order to embrace something unknown, something challenging, something that will ultimately elevate you to a higher plane. But despite the inevitable challenges, transformation is always possible for anyone willing to take that first step. The key lies in understanding that action is required. We can think about change. We can dream about it. We can wish for it. But nothing will ever truly change until we commit to action. The first action step in transformation is perhaps the most fundamental, the profound decision to change. Change does not happen on its own accord. It begins when you decide with unwavering conviction that where you are is no longer where you want to be. It begins when you look at your life, your situation, and recognize that something has to give, that you can no longer stay in the same place. It begins when you make the declaration that you are worthy of more, of a more fulfilling life. Perhaps it's your mindset, your limiting beliefs. Maybe it's your ingrained, often destructive habits. It could be your relationships, the ones that drain your energy and hold you back. Maybe it is your career, a job that no longer serves your soul. Or perhaps it's your physical health, and you know you need to make changes to take care of yourself. Whatever it is, transformation starts with the simple, yet incredibly powerful act of deciding. For many people, the decision to change comes after a powerful and often painful wake-up call, an experience that shakes them to their core, revealing truths they have long suppressed. It may be a painful experience, a moment of crushing failure, or an event that shakes them to their core, forcing them to confront the realities of their lives. For others, the decision comes gradually as they become increasingly dissatisfied with their current circumstances. Either way, the decision to change is the starting point. It's the moment you acknowledge that you deserve more, that you are capable of more, and that it is time to step into your full potential, to claim your rightful place in the universe. But once the momentous decision is made, the next step is often the hardest, taking full responsibility for your life. We exist in a world that often looks for someone or something to blame when things go wrong. It's easy to point fingers at others, at circumstances, at the past, at the external conditions. But the unvarnished truth, my friends, is that we are the architects of our own destiny. And we have the power to reap the story we tell ourselves. No one else has the inherent power to shape our future unless we give them that power. Transformation requires that we take full responsibility for where we are in life, acknowledging that our choices, our actions, our mindset, and our past have brought us to this moment. It is through this ownership that we must build for our futures. This is not the time for blame, but the time for action. Taking responsibility is incredibly empowering. It means that no matter how difficult the circumstances, no matter how impossible the situation may seem, you have the power to change it. You have the agency to write your own narrative. The moment you stop blaming and start owning your life, you unlock the immense potential for growth, for expansion, and for abundance. You become the conscious creator of your own story, and you realize that your future is most certainly in your own hands, and it is up to you to write the next chapter, to create the masterpiece of your life.